Today, we're speaking with Carolyn Taylor, an assistant account executive at Jones PR in Oklahoma City, and she is the editor coordinator of the Oklahoma 100, which just went weekly. Today, we're excited to find out what goes on in the background and how Carolyn gets it out. Tell us a little bit about how you go about planning and organizing and leading your team.
So I know Brenda had mentioned the option to go weekly, and at first our team was pretty overwhelmed by it. We're like, there's no way we could do that. That's going to be increased work, and that's something the agency just couldn't take on right now. So we really, put the team together, and we really thought about the process and procedure of what that may look like, though, and we really wanted to make sure that we made the right decision. From going weekly, before when we were bi-weekly, I had a full kind of off week myself, and it was hard to make sure it's like, oh wait, this is the next issue, but not the issue before. Because originally we were placing bi-weekly newsletters, and it was 12 stories, and then plus the 3 additional member stories. Place any number of stories in any issue. So we thought, well, let's go ahead and just divide the Oklahoma 100 basically in half and only place 6 stories and 6 stories. That way it's not increased work, it's just kind of slowing down how we're doing it. Actually, it may increase frequency, but we're actually slowing down our work so we can place more timely articles in our newsletter. So that's something we saw as a benefit. And recently I've been able to really work with my team to create a schedule. So I'll send out assignments on Mondays, and they're due on Fridays, and then it will publish the following Thursday. So I work with Alex Simon, who's been super helpful in making sure that the newsletter gets all sent out and the articles look great on the website and everything. Because we have an editorial calendar of upcoming articles that they can write on, they can get a week ahead on some articles that they know will be placed in the next issue or the issue after that, or even in the next couple months that we know that we're going to write on, and kind of get ahead on work. And that way, whenever that assignment comes to them that Monday morning, they're like, you know what, I already wrote that actually a couple weeks ago. Let me just send it to her now. And it's actually a better benefit to our staff that they can work ahead in a time that, seems so, so time crunched, but it's actually been very beneficial for my team.
Do you find it difficult to write 100 words only? Is it too long, too short? Is that a lot of time on your part?
It's definitely a learning curve for sure. I know when I started back at Jones PR in 2018, and I was serving as a weekly contributor to the 100, it was definitely a learning curve. I was writing, and then I realized I'd written probably close to 150 words maybe, and I looked at it and was like, oh my gosh, how do I, this is just how I naturally write. How am I ever going to get this to 100 words? And you realize, okay, maybe that's not, needed information. You only need to include the necessary info and take out a few adjectives here and there, and you realize that you can really cut it down to 100 words. And something that I've heard that even in the PR world is that a great pitch is no more than 100 words. So it's really helped develop in myself and my team that, if you can't say it in 100 words, you're writing too much, so it really helps develop a good writing so you can get to the point quickly.
Do you come up with topics, or do you just ask your fellow teammates at Jones PR to come up with, repurpose other things they're doing?
Something different that we've just implemented since going weekly, we've decided to allow our writers to have their own beat. And so they can write on sports, parenting, PR, tech. Some other ones are like what's happening in the Oklahoma City metro area, what's happening in Tulsa. And that way they can really decide on, that's what I'm interested in and that's what I can write on. And if there's, arts and entertainment is another beat that we have, and travel. So we have one of our writers, she, her and her husband just got an RV. And so they've been traveling recently just around places in Oklahoma. And now she has this RV series that she's able to write on, which, I know that our readers are big foodies and big travel goers, so they've loved this series so far, and I look forward to seeing her articles. And it's helpful because she loves writing on it, she loves creating the content, which just creates a better environment for everybody here. So but Alex has been super helpful. So when I get articles submitted to me on Friday afternoons, I go ahead and submit those directly to the platform, and then come Monday I look up, our editor picks, and by Tuesday afternoon, we usually have a tech test sent to us. So by Wednesday, we can approve that, and newsletters are sent out on Thursday. So it's been a very quick process, very easy and simple. he's been very helpful and very quick to work with, because I try to work at least a month in advance in terms of planning the next issue. So for example, I know for July, we know we wanted a 4th of July article, and there's a few activities happening here in downtown Oklahoma City that we wanted to make sure that we included. So I always make sure to plan a month ahead in that aspect. So if I'm not planning, editorial planning usually takes me anywhere from 1 to 2 hours just to plan out the next month's issue. Uploading usually takes me about hour and a half on Friday afternoons just to make sure I have everything that the writer submitted. And something different that we've also started doing is whenever my writers submit their articles and photo and cut line and items to me, they also send me a piece of social media content as well. So that really helps cut out the amount of time that I'm using to craft social media to keep our social media channels up to date and engaged with our users on social media. So what's super helpful is that, it takes them 3 seconds to write after they've already written the article. So that way I can just go ahead and put that and schedule that on our social media channels. So that way it's, all done in one afternoon. So it's definitely a quick process and not much time at all out of my week. And if you plan ahead enough, that you're definitely prepared for it.
You're now issuing a newsletter and a website, social media platform that goes to more than 100,000 people in the state of Oklahoma. That's a pretty heady position for someone in your generation. How do you like that responsibility and developing that voice and being able to kind of set the agenda for people to read about?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a great opportunity. It's a little nerve-wracking, of course, to make sure that, the articles are ready and sent, that links work, and there's no grammatical errors or anything in there. So it's definitely a little nerve-wracking, but it's definitely a great opportunity that I appreciate that I've had the opportunity to go ahead and do this at Jones PR and really spearhead this project for me and my team and for our clients. It's been so beneficial to get our clients and even potential clients, we ever need to dedicate a full issue for a client or a potential client in the community that either needs to get news out quickly, or to a lot of business leaders and decision makers in Oklahoma, that we are the one newsletter and the one media outlet that can do that for them so quickly.
Before, you have to pitch media in the market,
Right.
to try to get them the right stories, but you're able to control this media market, this media vehicle. How are your clients enjoying the success so far?
They appreciate it so much because these are readers that are not already in their audience. It's a full new set of audience and individuals who get to read about the Turnpike Authority and the Cristo Rey Oklahoma City Catholic High School and Omni Oklahoma City Hotel, that care about these companies and these businesses in Oklahoma, and they get the benefit of being exposed to all these new business leaders and decision makers who can read their content and either book a night stay or decide to donate to Cristo Rey High School. And it just offers that whole new broader audience for them. So they see a huge benefit to it.
So you're based in Oklahoma City, but you cover the whole state. I notice you have a special coverage for Tulsa, and actually do special headlines, subject lines for Tulsa, and maybe even some extra stories.
So that's a strategy we use, but we know way back when we first started the Oklahoma 100, is that we knew we wanted to cover the entire state. So that's why we have a full category completely dedicated to the Tulsa 100, is what we call it, versus the Oklahoma City 100. And it's been beneficial for our Tulsa readers to be able to see an issue completely, maybe not completely dedicated to them, but they can still find articles that benefit them, that either it's local coffee shops or it's a new museum that opened in Tulsa, that they can see that, it's not just an Oklahoma City market and it's not just an Oklahoma City newsletter. It is something for them as well, and definitely something that those Tulsa readers benefit from.
You all actually use the Oklahoma 100 in your RFP or your pitch with the Omni, and that you said, hey, I think you'll not only benefit from us building a campaign for you statewide, but we'll be able to not only place regular stories in the Oklahoma 100, but nationally as well.
That was huge for Omni because they have so many locations in Boston, Atlanta, Florida, you name it. And that's what's been so great to partner with the 100, because there's so many other markets as well that we can be placed in that would really help expand their reach. So that's something they were definitely very interested in. And it's just a huge added value to get immediate media coverage in something, not only in Oklahoma, but additional markets, not even nationwide, but internationally. So that was a huge benefit for them, and it has been a great experience. I know, like you said, it's especially at my age, to be able to send a weekly newsletter to more than 100,000 subscribers is nerve-wracking, but it's definitely a great opportunity for me in my career to be able to showcase what me and my team, because it's not just me that I may be leading it, but it's definitely because of such a great team behind me that is writing such amazing articles and creating great ideas to pursue in the 100. I mean, honestly, it's a great opportunity for not only you yourself and in your personal career, but it's a great opportunity for your own agency and your own firm to be able to grow something in your own media outlet. There's not many agencies that can say that they not only pitch media, but they are media. And just recently, since we've started going weekly, I've started to get more media calls myself on different opportunities that we can, different events that we can attend, both in Tulsa and Oklahoma City, just as packages, and be able to really see the journalism side of who we're pitching and kind of see that side of the media, which is super beneficial to my team because it's able to expose us to, when we pitch, I'm reading through the emails that I get and I can identify a good pitch from a bad pitch. And it really helps me, work on my pitches myself to the Oklahoma City and Tulsa media. And I really also treat the 100 as my own client. Not only, I obviously have my set amount of clients, but we've set it up here at Jones PR to where the 100 is one of my clients, and I'm going to treat and dedicate the amount of time that it takes to that any one of my other clients would have the time and dedication from me. So that's really how I prioritize things. Obviously, it's a weekly newsletter, so it has to go out and things have to get done. And to have a full team behind you, supporting you and coming up with ideas and writing such great content, it's pretty easy and it's a fun opportunity.
Well, thank you so much, Carolyn, for talking with us today about the Oklahoma 100. And I know you've got, it's Tuesday today, so you've got an issue to work on with our editorial team here at the 100. So thank you so much for spending some time with us and letting us get an inside view of what it's like to produce a newsletter in their own market.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chris.